I am a devout spiritualist. I understand that the purpose of my entire existence is spiritual. You are not a human being in search of a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being immersed in a human experience. Teilhard de Chardin. I am a qualified theologian, having spent my life studying all the world's religions, including many of the more obscure philosophies. I have studied most forms of mysticism as well, such as Kabbalah, yoga, and ceremonial rites. I have read all the world's major religious texts from cover to cover, most of them many times, and studied their philosophies, doctrines, and histories in detail. They are all beautiful and profound and provide absolutely everything every human being needs to know and to feel. I have consumed theology all of my adult life, wanting to be intimately familiar with every spiritual expression there is. I began studying at 12 years old and have never stopped. I don't believe in God. I'm aware of God's presence the same way I don't believe in the sun or the sky. I'm aware of their presence, and through study, I have become more intimate with how they do what they do, why they do it, and what they affect and how. I know it sounds corny, but I literally see divinity in things as microcosmically simple as fruits and flowers and macrocosmically complex as DNA and quantum physics. I see God in everything. I have a room in my home dedicated to spiritual meditation. I begin each day with devotional meditation, trying to remain spiritually minded throughout the day and spend time in meditation each evening and in spiritual study each night before I sleep. It is frustrating to see the degree of spiritual and religious intolerance throughout humanity. I see what spiritual philosophies and religions have in common, much more than their differences. My love for all saints, holy men and women, religious practice and devotion allows me to spiritually learn and grow from all of them. I have had profound moments of ecstasy in Catholic cathedrals, ancient temples in India, Muslim mosques, New Age and metaphysical churches, and holy sites in Nepal. I've been to the Vatican, toured churches and cathedrals throughout Europe, went to underground Christian catacombs in Italy, spent weeks in ashrams in India, and was a spiritual pilgrim in Nepal. And no, I'm not spiritually confused. I'm not looking for God. God is everywhere at all times. God is as close to me as I am now. Whenever you think of God, God is present. The goal of my existence is to become spiritually enlightened and divinized. My extensive theological study has opened me to a simple and basic spiritual formula. I meditate, pray, study, reflect, sing, chant, and immerse myself in spiritual consciousness of love and gratitude for divinity as much and as often and intensely as I can. God is awesome, boundless, and beautiful, and I am simple, small, insignificant, and unworthy of God's love. Yet God loves me unconditionally. My spiritual practice is one of devotion. I try to remain aware and in a state of God consciousness at all times. This love and gratitude occasionally brings me to beatific states, absorbed in the appreciation and the awe of the divine. I am often barely present at all during my meditations, and others I am nearly paralyzed with convulsive sobbing. God is love. All pain and suffering is man-made, as divinity is perfect and eternal. God does not inflict pain or punishment. God is my divine parent and loves me enough to remind and show me the proper way to live. I love to speak about spiritual concepts more than any other subject, but very few people can have mature discussions on religion or spirituality without feeling threatened. Very few people are well educated on their own religious doctrines, and ignorance is often expressed as fear and anger. I am an Eastern and Western spiritualist, very comfortable in any area that is dedicated to honoring and worshiping divinity. I practice an Eastern path of spiritual disciplines that includes devotional meditation, living honorably, honestly, charitably, and tolerance to all living things. I have had the honor of assisting many mystics and spiritualists in spiritually evolving. I have assisted Jehovah's Witnesses, Jews, Muslims, Christians, pagans, Hindus, and mystics to become more devout and disciplined. My theological study and experience is extensive and versatile, and I've had very few issues ever working with people of various faiths that simply want to be better adherents to their own religions. Any way I can assist in anyone's coming closer to God is a privilege and an honor. I am God's servant, as we all are.